keep lunge. Or not improve sunder. Fuck. Improve critical, keep lunge. Yeah. Plus 32, and this one's plus 27. AC 36.
You adding the flank?
I'm adding the flank.
Can the thing be flanked?
No, it has all around vision. It cannot be flanked.
Okay, well then -2 to all of those.
Don't add the flank.
I think the 36 is the only one that's close, though.
Yeah, its AC is 37.
All right.
Yeah, so that 38 that you rolled on the confirmation not to critical fumble, that was
critical
close.
miss.
No, it's not a critical miss.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's just close.
No. All right, so
Big
first
old
one
pop
is
crit.
crit 56. That's probably a 152.
Oh, 56 is a 150 is a D52.
D52 with a slashing.
3.
No, it is standard with major injury. It is right on the edge of that. So
standard critical or standard damage?
Standard critical damage and
Okay,
major
standard
injury. I will.
All right.
100 damage. Use your 100 damage.
4 for the injury.
It doesn't make it save. It is at a -8 to his reflex saves until that wound gets healed.
All right.
Well, reflex save the sword.
Right. You kind of cut into a bunch of tendon. It's not jumping around or anything like that. Part of his body
that
just lays down.
2 hits. So
But crit and a hit.
yeah, so a 2d6 becomes 3d6 or 2d8.
2d8.
All right. So first hit is 40. Does it have DR?
Nope.
Okay. 6d8.
It's trying to out-regen the damage. There's a keyword in there called trying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think you're supposed to... Are you supposed to hit the head stubs with torches?
With fire.
You're supposed to like cut the head off and then torch it. It's really arduous.
173.
173 damage to its body. 3.
One of the attacks was over 100 damage. The last attack would have been over 50 damage.
Okay, it still has
more than
100 hit points left.
Okay, cool.
Murgavane lays into it though. The body is bloodied after the last attacks.
Is there any reaction from the crowd?
Oh yeah, the crowd.
Awesome.
The crowd is cheering. You guys are putting on a display that the likes of which they probably have never seen. 13th level characters with high ability scores, and Gestalt, you're kind of like 15th level characters.
Yeah, really.
Which is why I bumped up I was telling them mid-legendary.
Yeah.
Just throw legendary in there.
Murgavane looks over to that horn collar. Praise this!
Funny. Okay, it brings us to Ember Fist.
Can we punch those heads that are regenning with fire?
You can punch the stubs if you want.
Punch the studs.
Yeah, let's punch the stubs. We don't need more heads.
Okay. So targeting stub 4.
First two, yeah, first two are, if I hit the stubs, then I'll go to the body. This is boar style.
Okay. So you miss, and you miss.
Great.
As the heads are snapping in and you're trying to touch the stubs, but the stubs are along its body and they're a miss and a miss.
And touch with the rod.
Okay.
Of course.
And a critical threat miss. Its tail kind of swapped into you. 21 is its touch AC.
Oh.
All right, roll percentile as you.
Let's recalculate this.
You might touch yourself, and you don't have a flank. Remember.
Yeah, all around vision. It's just
yeah,
too
I'm
many
not doing
eyes.
flanks.
Okay.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. Yep, that's my one.
Okay, percentile.
I had to grab the top.
D52 critical miss deck.
Uh-oh.
6.
Yeah.
You take 1 point of strength bleed as the pincer managed to like cut you along the inside of your leg,
That is
missing the side of your pants, but you have 1 point of strength bleed. You don't take any strength damage this round, but you know you've got a bad cut.
Now, question: how can you heal that?
You can get rid of this by making a fortitude save DC of what you're trying to hit. So fort save DC 37 will negate this.
I was doing a touch attack.
Fort save DC 21.
yeah.
There we go.
Yay!
Okay, the cut is not as deep as you thought, but it could have like sliced your wang off.
He's
So-
like he almost cut his leg off with the
wrong.
face.
It was like you tucked it down the wrong leg, the other leg kind of thing. Oh, you're actually checking. Every male in the audience is going, "Oh!" as the big tail pincer kind of grabbed you around the leg, kind of in the crotchal region. Cade, you let everyone know that you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you give a thumbs up.
Giving it a chance.
You give the thumbs up to the crowd, and everyone's like, "Woo!" All right, that was
We're
Cade.
looking for a new line of warrior dwarves. Don't lose the
Timberfist
bits.
line.
All right,
Timberfist line lives on.
These two heads were not cauterized, these two severed heads, and they grow back as 2 heads apiece on this round.
Oh. How many images do you have left?
5.
They don't do that damage.
Oh no, 4.
The
They don't do a lot of
the
damage.
crown of heads around the main mouth is getting crowded, but it looks like there's space for more even. All right, which means I think we have, by my math, is 12 attacks via the heads, a big attack with the bite, and a tail pincer all this round. Okay, I think everyone is in range for everything. Murgavane bloodied the fucker. Okay, so Murgavane's going to get the big mouth to start with. It's just going to open up with the most angriest attack it's got. It's smart-ish, so it just is more reacting to pain. Yep. Nat 20.
Uh-oh.
AC 41 to confirm.
That hits.
How many images?
That's me.
91 on the chart.
Ugh, indeed.
Amazing critical with a minor condition.
Oh dear.
Its bite does 3d6 plus 12. So
9d6 plus 36.
96 plus 36 for damage.
Minus 5.
For
Condition
DR.
I'm worried about.
52 damage.
Okay, so I get reduced to 47.
No, that was already reduced.
He already minus the 5.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And 4 acid damage from the spittle.
Alright.
And then the minor condition is D8. 8 is DM's choice. I'm going to choose staggered. You need to make a fortitude save DC
41.
It's confirmation roll 41 to not be staggered for 1 round.
Okay.
You can do this.
Yes, I can.
You got this by the ass.
Plus 4, so 44.
Additionally, you just vital striking into next week. Next round is also fun.
26.
Into next week.
Yeah.
It's like I time traveled and then dies. This guy mopping up shit. These creatures keep on appearing and dying instantly. They cannot survive in our world.
Vital strike.
Funny.
37.
Okay, Murgavane is staggered. Do you have 51 more hit points or 54
Oh, I got
more
10
hit points?
left.
Okay, so you don't have to make a fortitude save versus
You also
death.
are tracking your temporary hit points from divine power.
Oh, I didn't even track that. No, I never count.
Add yourself those back, because
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, now the heads.
Thank you, Adam.
you're gonna need them.
Well, the tail, the The heads.
Sure.
So we're gonna stick 4 heads on Murgovane. They're just gonna come in and start picking them to pieces, just because it's got heads everywhere, and
Plus 13.
these are plus 27s. AC Nat 1, 44, 30, and 43.
2 potential hits. D5s.
That is a critical miss. So one of the heads 47s itself.
Ahmed, you got some like little bits.
Oh,
of
sorry,
through.
yeah.
It's a little.
Okay, well,
One of the heads took 1 wisdom damage. All right.
Okay.
It's appropriate.
It banged itself into the ground. Okay, and then the potential hits. You have 5 images.
I have
No,
4
you-
images,
he's got
5
4.
including
Okay.
myself.
Image gun and Murgovane.
You want to be perfectly honest. It's like getting bit by all the heads. It's the mouth and the tail that's the problem.
1d8 plus 7 minus 5 is a whopping 6 damage and 2 acid. Okay, Cade. There are 8 heads trying to nip at Cade.
Okay, his AC should be 46. Something like that.
Hit, miss, miss, hit,
Hit.
miss, 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 natural 20. So,
So
let's roll the
they're all
confirm.
you said they quit on 19, so they're all potential crits.
Okay, so
3 potential crits.
3 times 1d20 plus 27. None of them are crits.
Just hits.
Does Cade have any DR?
He's got manly.
nope, no DRs.
Okay, so 38 damage total.
Okay.
And this amount of... Whoops.
110. Acid damage.
16 acid damage.
Woo.
Now the pincer... It's got this big tail with sort of an arcing pincer. Is
Ahmed,
going
you have
to...
engage,
Yep.
token? Okay.
Yep.
Is going to... Oh, I think try to grab Cade. I gotta stop this thing behind me. So it tries to pinch you first, and you jump through the pincher. AC 30 is a miss. And it 5-foot steps towards Murgovane because reasons.
Okay,
All right.
going to try to kill it now.
Murgovane.
Good stab.
Harp.
Oh, right, Murgovane.
Oh, get your big pop of vital strike out. Chop it, chop.
Yeah, Murgovane's like, oh, that was a horrible wound as it grabbed, as it bit your torso.
Yeah. Vital, improve vital.
It's like it kind of bit into you and
I,
pulled out.
I think I would rather have the improved critical than the extra 2d8.
I think that's a nice, smart,
Cool.
good, smart man.
Yeah. So I will have 1 vital strike, and improved critical. This is on the body.
On the body?
AC 44.
Yeah, you
Hits.
just belt your sword into into the side of its body, creating a vicious wound.
48.
Let's fail your fort save.
70.
Fail your fort save.
315 damage. It has 70 hit points left, so it's still up.
It's just bullshit. Punch it, Cade.
Amber Fist,
Get in there, you son of a bitch.
disciple
Stop
of
rolling boots.
Vimaris of Palor. Was it Palor?
Yeah.
What is this nonsense? 1d20 plus 18. Oh,
He's
it's your,
trying to touch the... There are no stumps right now. They all grew back.
No, he's not trying to touch the stumps. I think that's his wisdom check to do the thing. But he's muted, so we can't hear him talk.
Thank you for
Oh,
muting
thought I
while you
wasn't.
eat your chips.
There we go.
What is the d20 plus 18?
That was the SR check to get the.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
Seriously?
All misses? The heads are snapping in and keeping you at bay. Come on, you took out the golem in one round, and now it's Murgovane's turn to be the striker.
Okay, touch.
Your job is to tank, you son of a bitch. Tank.
23 touch.
Okay, it doesn't.
Karen, I forgive you for not letting me hit the golem, but really, this is getting ridiculous.
It doesn't roll a 1. It's now the Thessal Hydra's turn. This is a breathing round. It's going to breathe on Murgovane.
No.
73 acid damage. Reflex save DC 31.
Nope.
Murgovane takes it right into the chest.
Takes it the protection.
Yep. Gig has protected me.
Okay, is there any
73?
Yeah.
All right.
Did it get through any? Did it get through any of it, or do you still have acid protection left?
Oh, I still got acid protection.
Oh, okay. So there's this really bluish aquamarine aura that just keeps this horrible acid that's staining the ground, and kind of sizzling off the stone from touching Murgovane. He kind of put up his hand reflexively. It is the left hand, the hand that has been turned to wood by Yggdrasil.
Just enough to be eaten by a bunch of little heads.
Yeah, we've got Cade and Murgovane. I think the heads just sort of redistribute, and there's going to be 6 on one and 6 on the other, and the tail does not get to attack this round because the main body breathed. And I'm going to roll to see when it can breathe again next round.
Honestly, that's safer, I think.
And then 6 at, this is on Murgovane, 1d20 plus 27, 46, critical threat, 45, 39, 39, 34, and 30.
Hang on. Let's see. My AC's actually gone up to 41 right now. Because I'm not
Okay,
lunging.
so that first one is a critical threat.
Yeah.
It does not confirm. And then how many images?
1,
3?
1, 2,
3.
2 images by the looks of it.
Okay.
Oh, you've just
2 images and 2 possible hits.
I think you have
Oh,
3.
no. You've got 3 images up on the first attack. Like
Oh,
how many-
well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So 3 images, D4.
D4, yeah.
Yeah, Murgovane. Yeah, basically once Murgovane, like once at the end of this monster's turn, the staggered condition goes away.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a D4. for the first
D4
one.
on the first one. Image.
D3,
D3.
Image.
and
So
then
there's-
all the rest of the images are gone.
Okay, then it eats all the rest of the images and then just misses Murgovane.
And
Yeah.
then it's time to die.
And now, then the 6 other
got
heads
6
on
on me.
6 other heads on Cade. Yeah, if it was a bit smarter, it would be picking Murgovane apart. But I think 1 hit on Cade,
Yeah.
which is a critical threat.
Yep.
43 is not a critical hit.
Nope.
For 13 damage and 6 acid. Okay, that's its turn. It kind of, I don't know, backs away from Murgovane a little bit. It's moving around, like it's weight. The weight of all of its heads are redistributing, and it's moving around a little bit. Oh, I forgot to heal it this round. 300 hit points. Oh, no. 16 was its original, and then it has 2 more heads, so it heals 20. So that was 295.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Okay, so Murgo.
And this is the second round of having all of its heads. I think I already healed it last round. Okay.
Yeah. So
I think you missed
Murgovane.
4 off of its healing.
Okay.
Should be getting 4 more hit points back.
So Murgovane drops his rage.
Okay, you're immune to fatigued, I think. So.
Yeah, so he rages again. Cast mirror images.
Nice. Bear back.
Silly.
That's why why you want to be. If you're going to be one, you should be a lame one.
5 images.
Okay. A bunch of Mergovanes come out again. There are
going to Oracle.
some confused dwarves that are like low-level wizards. They're like, how did he do that?
I swear that was an arcane spell, but the fuck the priest is doing?
And
He's
then
so angry.
he is gonna full round the some bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Get him. He said something bad about Yig. He was going to pee in Yig's.
Oh, that's a possible critical.
Oh, there we go. Chop a
Yes, it
sock in
is.
stoy.
Oh, that's a critical.
Percentile.
Yeah, his favorite game is eating squirrels. Get him.
That's a possible critical.
He likes dropping salt everywhere just to, make it so things don't grow. Get him.
That's a critical.
Get him.
Oh! Mergovane just blade passing hilt deep.
Oh.
Oh, there's a potential critical miss. Because we got too excited. Not a critical miss.
Not a
Oh,
critical. miss.
I'm still excited. I'm still hyped.
Yeah.
I'm still hyped. Get him. Kill him.
Oh,
Oh no. Get him in the first two so you don't have to
You're
make these
slipping on
extra
all
ones.
the blood and acid. Bottom of your feet protected by Yggdrasil.
Got him.
40 got him.
Yep.
Okay, so they're just missing.
I'll
6.
take 2 crits over 4 hits.
Yeah, same here. So first crit.
What's happening?
42.
2 crits. 2 misses.
42 is standard critical with a free combat maneuver, no AOO.
Okay, and
Trip? Maybe? I don't know.
no, okay. It's
You want to know what its
pointless,
you know what
so
its
big.
trip AC is? Trip CMD is 58.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and trip him. And the second attack is at 20.
Standard crit.
Okay, so standard. So two standards. I'll just take the 2 standards.
You could probably do a sunder against a head.
Yeah, I guess I'll do I can do a sunder on a head as a
Okay.
free.
Its Sunder CMD is 54.
At least it's one of those ones when you fucked up, nothing bad happens.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. You guys are. Anyways, okay. Yeah.
So 2 standard. Plus.
This should finish it
I
off.
can't do math, so I'll just type them all in.
That's what I do. I get good at typing, don't get good at math. Get good at using calculators.
Modron Bot's like, oh god.
220 damage. Does he have that left?
Oh fuck. Let me do some math. 400, 500, and
Sleepy time. Sleepy time for you.
It's sleepy time on the farm. Come on.
you drop it to minus 90.
It's Fort Save or Die, I think.
Oh yeah, on the second hit. So
On the first hit and the second hit.
yeah, they both made it. So you managed to thrust your blade into this thing's body so hard on the second hit that you punctured like its belly or wherever the acid is coming from. And there is this churning spray of acid that is sort of hitting one side of the room. The barrier comes up, but people do move away from the barrier, just out of human or dwarven nature, sentient nature, if you will. The thing kind of deflates. Its heads are all rolling around on the ground, roaring, and then they're just kind of curling up and not moving any longer. You are lucky we are under this current edition of Dungeons and Dragons or the like, because in some editions you just do damage to the body and nothing happens
That's true, yeah.
until you get rid of all the heads.
You used to have to go through the nonsense of cutting off all the heads and getting your torches out and trying to burn them. And
The Thessal Hydra falls to the ground with its last head hitting these revered stones.
Woo!
Widget is the first one to pierce the silence of the scene with a woo and a splash from his illusory cup. Pretty soon, there are people, however, just celebrating and pumping their fists in the air, and they're all kind of running onto the field of valor to go and congratulate Cade and Cade Emberfist and Murgovane. Several fellows just stay back. Balak Ko, the Horned, is just simply like golf clapping you. And shooting daggers through his eyes is Dudrabont, the master of ceremonies. He's not happy with your display and how much lack of respect you have shown him. I'm assuming your companions go onto the field. Wyax just actually cocked his head off to the side and is actually thinking. He's lost in thought, like he's not.
I shouldn't piss these guys off.
I should make them angry.
Ooh.
The bird is actually flying around like mad, kind of happily, like it's enjoying what's going on as Cade and Cade and Murgovane are the center of the celebration.
Zera's gonna go out to make certain everybody's like healthy.
Okay. Yeah, they're celebrating. They're not rushing out to heal Murgovane and Cade. They're rushing out to celebrate.
Yeah.
Murgovane's just gonna cast.
You notice that First Son Jestrune was about to head out, but he gets pulled off to the side by a bell, and they spend the time making out back.
Isn't that cute? Forbidden love.
Murgovane's gonna throw out a mass cure critical wounds.
Okay. The wine. You drink deep of wine, and there is much jubilation as the Thane comes out to congratulate the two of you. It is unfortunate, Murgovane, that I have got no authority over Nagaji. But you fought like a dragon, and make sure that you know that this is a compliment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As for my boy Cade, I look forward to long years of you serving me as a bodyguard, a personal one. We will do great things together.
I serve my king, as we discussed. Once the shadows have been destroyed.
You mean Thane? And he gives you a wink.
I healed you for 61 damage.
Oh, thanks, man. The shadows need my attention.
No shadow will touch you here, and I will pay you your own weight in gold.
Kate grabs a bucket of sandwiches and just starts pounding away.
We're gonna have to escape from this place.
Come, let us feast and drink. It is not time for feasting. Nonsense! This great abomination has been dragged forth from the deep. It is the death of old Thess, and it will be remembered. It will be written down, and we will make a day of it. You actually bring the Dudrabont to tears.
And write it down right.
We're just getting the biggest fucking goblet he could find.
Yeah, a real goblet.
A real goblet.
You find that some people just dropped theirs, so you pick up one and you're drinking out of it.
Yeah.
3 cheers to Cade Emberfist! 3 cheers to Murgovane for showing us true valor in the Hall of Proving! Let your empire know! It is actually like, your empire? Interesting. Yarvist, let them know whatever tier they are, that these champions will be ever invited to fight in these sacred halls. Your accountant doesn't seem to care too much, but he makes a little note in his notebook.
Oh, okay.
That you've defeated a CR-18 creature, which I think makes you guys, let's see what tier you're going to be
Level
registered
14.
as.
You've just registered yourselves as like, it was, I think it's 2 legendaries.
Yeah, but let's be real. Cade was useless in that. Like,
Well, we
No.
said legendary or paragons. There might be 2
couldn't hit
paragons.
anything there.
No.
Cade was not. It had all the attacks been against Murgravane, Murgravane would be dead.
Yep. You took more than half the attacks, really.
It's a valid way of fighting.
Tanking.
Yes.
It's called spank and tank. One guy spanks, one guy tanks.
Spank and tank. That's a good one. I like it.
Spank and tank, baby. I just watched Talladega Nights the other day, so spank and tank.
Ridiculous. Yeah, they could be marking you down as high as
Paragon.
Epic.
Epic, I don't think. They're gonna, because they're not fighting CR-17
yeah,
by themselves.
but Paragons.
No fucking way.
You guys are
Paragon,
definitely Paragons.
Yeah. If they got rolled up as Epic, we'd have to get Damien in to come fucking fix the
Okay.
books.
Let's have a look.
Oh, it depends how crooked they want to be, right? Do you trust the people here?
I trust that the king guy doesn't want his new slave, Cade, to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, slave Cade. Get out of here, Grizak, you suck. Is another part of their message, though.
Start knocking over statues.
Time to knock over statues.
The next day's breakfast ceremony is a very hungover, somber affair. You're invited to it. Some of you don't go, and the hall is very empty. However, Dudrabant is very loud, and perhaps loud on purpose. He's got, like, not a megaphone, but just like a piece of wood in a cone shape to make his... He berates people when the Thane himself does not show up to that morning ceremony.
It's your fault, Thane. Come.
He blames anything and everything that goes wrong that
Ill,
day
it was unwritten.
on the likes of the adventurers, these emissaries that have come and spoiled his perfect
Clockwork day.
clockwork days.
When I wrote down about this day 6 months ago, this was not how it went.
6 months ago.
6 years ago? 60 years ago? 300 years ago?
The book is older than that, dwarf.
Someone else wrote that book that he fell followed.
Well, but is it repeating? Like, is it a pattern that repeats?
Well, it's one book, right? So,
Right. But is it a pattern that repeats, or did they actually write out like a day planner where it's individual?
it appears after. So,
It'd be
Zira
cycles,
is
right?
there and she's interested, and it looks like it's a book that repeats, and there is like a sheet of bronze that has certain blocks kind of cut out of it, and they're using that to read each day. So it's like a combination lock cycle of the book of what they're supposed to eat and drink and do each day. At least the person who came up with it had some inspiration.
Well, that was creative.
Little did they know they set in motion. How many hundreds of years have they been doing this?
Yeah, they've been playing. They're doing a really big game of Groundhog Day. Just except it's a decade or a century or something of Groundhog Day.
They don't let the Shadow Moon Priestess anywhere near the book to read it, but you do see that there is like one dude's job is to hold this punch card in front of the
Good
book.
fight, man.
Ahmed, the good fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand how there's not just a revolt of people going, no, I want the blue porridge instead of the red porridge. Like, there are more than 2 types of grain, blue and red. Somebody painting a rainbow, like something, you know?
So you're kind of left to your own devices this day.
Perfect.
What are you doing? Or are we continuing when Ahmed is back?
No, let's... I have the ability to speak to stone. Do we still need to learn things of this place, or are we comfortable?
If you could talk to the rocks, why didn't you talk to the rocks a week ago?
Because you were sending
I'm
your
tired
intel.
of red grain. I would like to try the blue grain, but it's not blue grain season anymore. Now it's red grain.
This really bothers you, does it?
I'll give you some brown grain.
It's all brown grain in the end. What can we learn?
The stone will speak to me, tell me what it hides, what it's seen.
You likely have to go to a special place to do that.
I
Imagine
don't-
if you did that where all the monsters died. Probably go mad.
Yes. We want to find... Well, we need to find a way in. We're someplace private, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you guys are in your quarters, and Grizak has put up
With
the
private
screen.
sanctum?
Yeah.
We need to get inside the vault.
A little headachy if you partook in the volume of wine that all the dwarves did.
Widget is...
It feels like that.
Whining in
It
the
feels
corner.
like yesterday was a minor revolt. Like, why don't they revolt?
Yep.
It appears that when there is an excuse to break tradition,
They just break it. They just
they
go
break
all
it, and
nuts.
there was all sorts of
Yeah.
partying and
So
drinking.
Widget is in the corner with like a towel on his head, whining about the grain colors. Like that's, that's what all Widget could do this day.
Okay.
Cades, are we gonna go see that monk? I like to see the monk now that we're champions.
Yes, perhaps that would be very use of our time.
Something about we want all that for.
Yep.
Why don't we talk to the stone?
Yes, we'll talk to the stone by the vault.
Which fault?
The one where Grinthark is supposed to be.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to find in town where we think the lender's vault thing is. Now that we should be able to, we're like celebrities. We're just gonna point Murgravane at people and go, "Hey, did you see our Murgravane? This guy's awesome. Don't you remember? He's the tits."
All right. You open the door and you realize that people have been placing small offerings outside of your door, and the offerings actually take the form of gold and silver and jewelry, and it's not the most wealth that you've ever seen, but it is not insignificant. You can add about 2,000 gold pieces worth of trinkets as dwarves have been stopping by the delegation doors and offering congrats on victory. A small army of what look like smiths, younger dwarves. Their beards aren't as long. They're like,
Murgravane, Cade, can we take your measurements?
If you wish.
It's the second week of the golden effigies.
Oh, all right.
Oh, don't tell him it's effigies. The winner of the competition has their golden icon delivered to the horde of the Heart of Gold. All the other golden icons are garbage and are cast into the fires and melted down.
The winner of what contest?
Of the golden effigies. It's the second week.
We're not from here. What are the golden effigies?
Well, all the finest gold and silver smiths and fine smiths craft a statue, and the Council of Elders votes upon the winners. It's the second week.
Ah,
they do have art.
I would like... Is this something that is open to the public?
They talk amongst themselves. We haven't had an outsider craftsman for some time, but yes, know that your hard work might be very well cast into the furnaces and melted down. We were wondering if we could get a visage of, if we could take a sketch of Murgravane and Cade. Yeah, no, I want to do Cade first. No, I'm going to do Murgravane. They're looking for like measurements on the two heroes. You have
Sure.
you imagine they're going to make little statues of Cade and
Yeah.
Murgovane.
I
There's some guys that are already like coal etching their faces and bumping into each other, and there seems to be a great
I did not mean I
flurry.
wanted to create an effigy. Can I view the effigies before they are cast into the furnace?
Would you? This sounds like the room that you found with all the little gold statues in it.
Downstairs. 3 floors. In the middle. All the shiny bits. Now shut up.
We may have to get permission for you to go and view them. We wouldn't want any sabotage. Like last time. There was no sabotage. There's like a little argument that breaks out.
So the winning
Doors are
effigy-
hyper focused on this.
The winning effigy gets to be placed inside the vault?
Gets to be placed and delivered directly to the Heart of Gold. Yes, it joins the new horde.
It's quite an honor.
Isn't that interesting? Could we make an effigy of a giant golden Trojan horse? Just a big horse statue. Real big.
Are you going to enter? They're not. They don't have a workshop up here. They don't look like they've got enough gold. Well, they have some gold from the offerings. They could melt it down. None of them look like smiths. Are any of you fine smiths? Are you our competition this year?
Is it the competition for making the best armor, or is it to make a little shiny thing?
Armor competition? We don't have any armor competitions. I don't know what he's talking about. Do we have armor competitions?
I will take that as a no, but the dwarf I learned how to forge from, he,
I could make gold armor and place it upon a statue. That's my idea. Parallel design, and they go run. There's two of them that go running.
they yell parallel design. Flee the room. That is so on point for my life right now.
Parallel design. Oh, them's fighting words.
La, 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 la.
Yeah. The others are still trying to scrap. Could you make your angry face? Make your angry face.
Alright, he gives him the angry face.
Oh, that's it. Let me see. They're all kind of stumbling. These are young dwarves. It looks like this is their outlet for creativity and perhaps status.
Yeah, it's their version of getting into the NBA.
It's sad.
Is it?
This is to Zira. This is most definitely a redeeming quality of the society. Because before they didn't have anything. This is pretty good.
To Zira, to Widget, they're like, they have the greatest fighting hall ever.
You see this shit? Just throw the wine around. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I just gotta put my dog out.
Yeah. So she would like to go and see, like, she'd like to partake in the whole culture of the art, and
Okay.
there's also the potential for us to use that. Like, we'll know where it is because we can locate object on one of the objects that we see. The one that wins goes in the thing, and we can locate object to find it, figure out where it went.
Interesting. So, you give me a diplomacy check. You're trying to convince these guys to bend a rule, basically.
Yes. I'm also very pretty, don't you know?
Very elfin pretty.
You see my zooms. 30.
Yep. They tell the guards that are down there that you're not part of the competition and you're not a judge and you've got emissary status, and they eventually get you in. And you feel like you've won a minor victory as you go in. There's this massive hall full of benches, and you can see at individual tables, sometimes multiple statues are at each table, sometimes it's only one, are intricately laid out and like some of them have nice placemats and like doilies underneath them, and some of them are covered so that you can't quite see all of them. Like there's gonna be some big reveal, but there's like 30 or 40 things from about the size of a tiny figurine to life-size statues. They are of dwarves, they are of dragons, they are of fair dwarven maidens, they are of friendly-looking dragons, angry-looking dragons, holy symbols of the heart of gold. Somebody actually made a heart that is made of gold, like an anatomical
An actual
heart.
yeah.
The anatomical heart is actually pretty good. You think it might open up. Like it's got lines on it where you might be able to take the sections out and look at what a heart is made out of.
Interesting.
Gold and silver. Some of the smiths, like they have their names in little placards. Some of the placards are gold or silver. Some of them are just carved from wood or etched in copper.
Just detect magic to see if anything is magical, or is it all just pure craft?
The lifelike statue of a gold dragon warrior is magical. It's like somebody created a golem.
And they're just potentially going to just melt that down.
Yep.
As
Somebody's.
is tradition.
This is the rich kid science fair project.
It kind of has that feel of the science fair projects in this long hall, and you can see a seat set up at the end. Maybe that's where the Thane or other people will sit. Their tables, their judging tables that are already set up. You can see on a brass page, or a brass big scroll up at the far end of the room. You can see someone's name is already etched in there, and there is like the winning object from last week.
Okay.
What won last week?
The winning object looks like a dwarven war axe made out of gold.
Alma might make it. Might be able to win with Alma.
See anything interesting? Your friend Wyrex comes to check in on you. There's a hoot from the
this
island.
heart here is most interesting.
Ah,
This is a nice change from the never-ending routine.
there is an offering to the new horde once a season. 4 offerings. These trinkets do make their way far from here, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Remember where we said you know what was kept? Likely one of these things will end up there.
Yes. The anatomical heart. Take a look at it.
Yes, a doctor, if you will. All dwarves in Yamar do have a modicum of craftiness, I suppose. He likely teamed up with a smith from some of his drawings. Interesting. He kind of taps it and a piece falls off of it, and you can actually see the pieces of the internal workings of a heart. Dwarvish heart. He puts the thing back on carefully.
How much space is there inside of it?
Well, there's like tubes for the vessels and that sort of thing. You could put something about the size of a golf ball inside of it if you wanted to. Plus the little tubes, you could stick your little pinky finger, so you could roll something in the tubes and get it stuck.
Yep.
This is a fine craft, and it shows an interesting measure of skill. If I were a judge, I would pick this thing. Or perhaps, and he looks around, hastily made, it probably can only march around and perhaps kick and do some sort of fist-like motion, but the minor golem
Yes, those are the two that caught my eye. It's a question of attention to detail and skill versus raw resources applied. Should you win by the necessity of being more wealthy?
No, the golem on second look is of poor craft. There are much better golems around here.
Yes. Apparently, 40-foot tall golden ones, but aside from that.
Of which we only have one. What do you
How
think
did
is
we Go ahead.
what do you think is on the moon?
Someone is trying to hurt her. I will find enemies on the moon.
I see. It is concerning. It is something I did not consider before.
Can you... Renee has detailed maps drawn out, charts. He's been watching it for centuries now.
You fought in the first Shadow War,
Yes.
yet you do not look a day over 200, and that is... He looks closer. No lines, no crow's feet. You have not had children. He kind of looks down at your hips. Holy fuck, this guy's perceptive. Like, how is it that you have lived for so long?
I did have an accident. I was tied to a creature of shadow. Her name is Maffei. I miss her. She's currently separated from me. Once she was joined to me, I have not aged a day. I don't know if that was the source, but that is when I stopped changing. I'm used to saying our body.
Then perhaps... And you are the one that leads this group. I see that Zita is much younger.
She's my great niece. She is also somewhat cold. Her brother died recently. She still hasn't finished grieving.
I see.
She tends to make decisions somewhat more harshly than are somewhat required.
And you fought in a war 300 years ago that has reared its head again. You are likely no stranger to grief.
Yes.
Neither am I.
Last of your clan, as I understand it.
On this world, anyways.
There's another Terraslene for you, my friend.
Silvers, yes?
Yes.
Do we know
Your...
of the Empire of Silvers? Is that... There was a I think only Zeta knows about that.
Phineas knew about it.
Phineas knew about it, okay.
I think he told Arwen.
Since your very astute and well educated grand niece knows what I seek.
What would you do with it?
I would win a war that is unwinnable.
Which war is that?
The one where the abyss is trying to claw its way into the prime.
And how would control of gold dragons assist you?
It will force them to pay attention.
is a motive. I understand. She's like looking around with the dwarves, like.
These dwarves are a vassal of the Imperium. The Imperium so far has not taken any steps to aid those on this beleaguered world. Too many times have I heard of the stories of worlds being pulled into the very abyss simply because they have been abandoned by the gods themselves, and those who had the methods of escaping did so like rats fleeing a sinking ship. My kind are guilty of this. So are the golds and the silvers, the bronzes, the brasses, and any other dragon who has claimed to be good. Of course, those have stayed and fought and died. But when the abyss spills over to a prime material world, the response that is required must be the prime, and not the heroes of that individual world. Do you know one of the core worlds of our entire multiverse was pulled into the abyss?
Knowledge planes?
Sure.
Alright. Shut up, Mark. Don't laugh at my knowledge planes. 30!
Yeah, you heard about there are some worlds that the gods deemed more important than others, the ones that are busy and fought over and contested. You know what he's talking about, the core worlds, as particular, like you've never, the cultures that you have don't interact with them, so you don't know. Others will soon follow. That is, unless they are not destroyed by other things first. Yes, I understand that shadows are leaking into this world, but that is nothing compared to the abyss opening up like a foul flower, and the world being consumed. It is how the abyss gains its souls. Yes, there are madmen and murderers out there, but the abyss steals souls that don't belong to it, on a scale that these boxes that you're concerned about pale in comparison. Yet the gold dragons have not entered this war as, well, individual conflicts here and there, regional concerns, have forced them to be, well, regional.
Are you...
The heart of gold must be awakened, not to win this war against the shadows, of which I think the Imperials will take action eventually. It is the war against the abyss.
Will their actions do more harm than good, is the question. Are you familiar with Yggdrasil?
Ah, yes. A sad day.
It is still connected to our shadow realm. Our shadow self. And it burns. It's what drives Mergoven.
Yggdrasil is how elves came to this world, yet they have forgotten.
They do not fare as well under the yoke.
Do you know that Terraslene is the name of an entire world out there?
No.
And that the elves and the dragons that immigrated to this world wanted to honor the world from which they came. Under the silver banner of the sovereignty, my people ruled over much, and we are the ones who are at the forefront of the fight against an entire plane of chaos and evil. Yet, the prophets say there is something important about Tarak. Of course, you and I were born here. We have an attachment to it. But sometimes it is hard to think like a small fish in a large pond. instead of trying to be a big fish in a small one.
I understand there are troubles. We will do what we can to help. We will get what we need from this place, and we'd like to do so leaving it better for us being here. But if that cannot be accomplished, we will still have been here, and we will still have taken what we needed. I'm certain there are many ways to wake that dragon.
Yes.
I will kill dwarves until the dragon wakes up. When the dragon wakes up and says, "You will die," I will say, "There's a shadow army out there. You go kill it. Now kill me, you big dragon bastard." There's lots of...
I suspect that dragon is only an aspect of the Heart of Gold. It does not make sense that it is entirely he.
I still don't entirely fathom these new deities.
Interesting times.
It was not this way centuries back.
No.
Yet they have sparked and grown quickly.
Yes. I wondered that too. Perhaps the sovereigns would know more.
The source behind the light.
We used to call out to Bahamut and to other dragon deities, but we seem to have forgotten them. Of course, we have been isolated from the rest thanks to the Imperials. But even their Imperial god, there are rumors that once each of those 5 had their own name, or was subsumed into the same being. Rumors, but a simple answer. Gods without names. Nameless.
It is... I have worshipped Leah for centuries. Since before what has grown to be my nemesis, I had a name on this realm.
Yes. This dark spot on the moon is concerning. If I strain my eyes so and use some simple devices, I could see the spot. Something is transpiring up there.
There was a dark ritual that happened, and we were unable to stop it. There are artifacts of shadowcraft that are sought by few, but are very powerful.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the Shadow Cradle? Cradle of Shadows?
I have heard of it. Wasn't it at the center of your conflict last time? Some man had it for a while, not far from here.
Yes.
Buried with him.
And his tomb was one of the early skirmishes of the new conflict. It is in play again, so they say.
Such things should have been brought here. The dwarves here have an excellent way of making things lie still in forgotten vaults. Then again, without the dragon awake, perhaps it is best it did not.
At least the dwarves here will have a chance to prepare themselves. I don't think they fully fathom the idea of shadow swarms that cast spells like Disintegrate. I doubt the walls, no matter how thick, will stand to such an onslaught. And once they are breached, your internal defenses are not thick enough to stop the incorporeal.
When we go to the summit to pay homage to our We should bring such words and tidings to ye.
And if he doesn't wish to give up the orb? Are you willing to endure bloodshed?
We may very well have a fight on our hands that will take all of us to win.
It is best the rest of us let little slip. They know much about Cade and Murgavane now.
After watching them fight, I think that we have another option. We could strong-arm the egg from him. However, it will take all of us, including myself. They will notice their mythical monk, paladin disappearing. The favored of the Heart of Gold.
Does he have any foibles?
He waits for the dragon to awake, and he is the only one that I have ever known to have ridden the dragon's back. More like stand upon it. So the stories go.
And he waits atop a mountain?
Yes. As I understand, he is of such power that he would have been hunted down did not the treaty that the greedy Imperials made with the city of Ar-Yamar also extend to the mountaintop monastery and thus to Ar-Ymir.
What rules are there that would prevent Cade from being co-opted? I mean, I am happy to simply leave when the time is right.
It will be his trustworthiness should he return again. It is an old law. There is nothing binding about it aside from the belief of our Thane. You should do it delicately, should you wish to keep favor with the Thane. Is Zeta following her aunt into the room where all the little gold statues are?
You're muted.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Ah, the learned Zeta. We were talking about you.
Oh, good, I hope.
Woo!
And hoo-hoo to you too, Loro.
We were speaking about treaties and the Thane's growing affection for Cade.
Yes, that will prove awkward.
And how the favored of the Heart of Gold may very well have the thing that we seek. And given that Murgavane and Cade were able to, well, destroy the greatest aberration that they've managed to pull forth from the deep, and keep around as a monster, we could go to the summit of the mountain and fight Ar-Ymir. It would take all of us, but it is possible.
We're hoping it wouldn't need to come to that, Zeta.
Yes, as would I. We do still need to recover Krinthark.
Yes, maybe this little thief might also help. Ymir is lost in contemplation and meditation. Perhaps a thief is exactly what we need.
Yes.
Still, if it comes to violence when we go up there, I would prepare as many true strike potions or powers as you have.
Understood.
Our Ymir will be very hard to hit.
We'll just leave the truth. There are ways of cracking the hardest nuts. So a shadow dancer with the right spells running, like an invisible shadow dancer hiding in shadows, would be like DC 50s to see while moving. Just
What if she had a bard in the shadows going, hide, 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 hide.
We're hiding in the shadows. In the shadows we would hide.
How hard can you buff that is what I'm saying.
So right now I have a plus 31. If you add invisibility on top of that, that's a plus 51. Well, it's a plus 51 while moving. It's a plus 71 while still. And you can add like heroism into that, so plus 53 for practical senses.
We can add greater heroism to that.
So plus 54. I could use a cat's grace to make it plus 55. And I could theoretically rage to make it plus 57.
Because you're an urban rager?
I'm an urban rager, like, oh, so high.
Rage to increase your dex?
Yeah, I could rage to dex fast. Got dex fast. Practically it would be around like plus 55. I think is what I got without going too nuts. So, a really good monk, like a really really good monk, would have something like a plus 30 or so to see. At least somewhere around there, depending what he's doing. You know, if you get him distracted or whatever. You know, I just like do like the piccolos in the Looney Tunes.
Like the picking of the guitar, probably, or whatever.
Yeah, you know, talking.
Yeah. Piccolos, I think, are more like the toot and
the high pitched
toot or whatever.
high pitched flutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, with basically in that way, I think that might be valid just to ghost in there and punk it by hiding in shadows.
Yeah, Grinthark's pre-invisibility stealth is plus 32.
Yeah, it is. So my pre-invisibility stealth is plus 31 before adding stuff.
Yeah.
Does he have hide in plain sight?
He does not.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is the whole. I'm hiding anywhere. I'm like right in front of you.
You seem to be lost in thought, Zero. What?
I don't just like to use the word thief.
Adventure?
But I've been known to adventure from time to time.
Thus confirming the dwarf's suspicion.
My shadow companion has brought me very close. I can hide in the smallest bits of darkness.
And can I trust the two of you not to use the thing that...
Zita,
we are about to get.
Yes, dear. Yes, Aunt.
we were previously talking about planar walls between the material and the abyss,
Yes.
and drawing appropriate battle lines post the shadow wall.
Very well. What about planar walls? Are you speaking of the blood wall?
If the blood war? Am I speaking of blood war? I don't know. Fuck.
Knowledge planes.
It's hilarious. Am I speaking about the blood war?
No.
Well,
26.
you think that's the blood war? You think is the war for triumphant evil? Like where evil is
Yeah,
fighting evil over
Yeah,
who's
it's
the best
like
evil.
the abyss
Yeah.
versus the
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah.
No. The abyss is stealing worlds.
Oh, I'll take 20 and get 50. Because again, she's trying to impress the dragon.
Yep. Yes. In fact, it is a major concern where worlds fail to defend themselves against the whims of demon lords that consign entire parts of the material to the abyss.
When worlds fail to defend themselves adequately against the abyss, demon lords come in, drive away the gods, and claim the souls. It's a terrible fate for any world.
I have a plus 32 stuff. I forgot to add my level for 13. Yes.
Is this another problem we have?
Thankfully, no, not on Tarak.
Not yet.
And yet we're discussing it because
Because it would be a valiant use of the orb.
where?
Someplace where there are gold dragons.
Can Zeta even think of any gold dragons that might still reside in Tarak?
If any, they'd be here, or they'd be hiding in remote places.
I can't even imagine where there would be gold dragons here, aside from, of course, the sleeping one.
Right, so once he is awoken, there is no more use of the item, is there not?
There might be one or two here. Cowards.
Your general's mind,
Oh, the general again. Yes.
not to belabor the point, but he, while protected, acts like a general.
Yes, he's quite spirited when it's protected, isn't it?
We need to know what broke his mind.
The Heart of Gold did.
Not what was he told.
That
That is what we
I
need
do
to
not
know.
know. It is a mystery that has been with us for some time. Oh, we've gone through this before. He is quite resolute in not saying. And whatever it is pains him greatly, and he acts the way he does.
Would he tell you?
I do not have a particularly good rapport with him, no.
I could ask him.
I would be surprised, but he seems to like Zita. No. He feels sorry for you for some reason.
What? I don't get played the pity card. I play the pity card.
I don't mean you particular. I mean, I saw it again when he saw strangers. He felt sorry for all of you.
Well, perhaps I could ask him and find out why.
Be my guest. Please do not betray our scheming.
No, of course not. Never. I
He-
don't look good.
Venturing.
He seemed really annoyed at, but he was truthful in that he called it what it was.
I don't look good in shades. Yeah, she's going to, try to find the general.
Okay.
Quick question on on Grinthark's build.
Yep.
Does he have dampened presence as a feat?
I don't know what that is.
It's the one that lets you hide from blind sense and blind sight.
Oh, he does not.
He should take that one if he wants to steal from dragons.
I put that down as something to pick up later. It's called Dampen Presence.
Dampened presence. You can also use a rogue talent to get it.
Nope, so I spelled presence wrong.
And that's the one that the whole like steal from a dragon.
Yep, he's got all sorts of stuff. You know the trick that Renee just recently picked up? He's got that one.
Oh, yeah, the quick and true strike. Oh yeah, that's a good one. It's
And he has enough true strikes because he took favored class to get lots of extra major and minor magic use. That he's got 3 per day.
Cool.
Improved evasion. Yeah. Yep. Grinthark's build is class Urban Barbarian 1, Swashbuckler 10, Fey 2, and Gestalt Rogue 11, Fey 2.
Okay.
Can't you make it bleed?
Yes, and he has a ton of spell-like abilities now because of the Fey, the half Fey template, basically. A base speed of 60 and a dex currently sitting at 29 with a 2 enhancement bonus.
That's cool.
Yep.
So that in our treasure where
Fights
we
with
have that
daggers.
plus 10 stealth item, we just drop that on him.
Yeah, he's only wearing a +5 stealth item.
Yeah, we can get him up to 37. Sneaky. Zero's probably gonna once she has a feat to spare, she's gonna grab skill focus stealth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Zeta is going to try to find the general. Let's see if she encounters anyone first. If I roll a 1, 2, or 3, you encounter someone else first. Oh, look at that.
Ooh. It's gonna be the angry wife of the king or something.
I'm just gonna arrange some other dudes in a row, and we'll see who you randomly run into.
Or yelly guy in a lonely hallway with nobody else around.
Lonely hallway, no one else around. No, he's got an army of servants around. Yelly guy is in the list though. And Yelly,
messing with yelly guy, I think, is on the list of things to do.
Dude Yeah, you don't like Dude Okay.
Doucherabant? No.
So, wondering how far we could push it. Just hiding in shadows and then sneaking over, just reading the book while they're doing the morning ceremonies.
Can you give me a D5?
Three.
Okay, you actually catch Belle in the hallway. I'll just go.
Okay.
Let's go to the. So Wyax is gonna just go off and do his own thing, and as you were hurrying about, you see the young priestess kind of crossing paths with you. She stops and bows.
Zeta gives her a little bow.
You notice her makeup is smeared a little bit.
And how is the first son?
Emissary, what do you mean? She says.
Come now, come now. Not completely ignorant of those particular walks from closets or dark places.
The firstborn is fine. He's healthy and strong, is what she says.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
You cannot say anything, she says.
Oh,
It
it's
would.
none of my business. I'm just teasing, dear.
She looks relieved. Is it true in Terrace Lean you could marry who you want?
Yes, it is. There's fewer arranged marriages, to be sure. Occasionally with the upper nobility, but even that's becoming less of a tradition and more political leanings.
Are dwarves welcome in Terrace Lean?
Oh dear, everyone is welcome in Terrace Lean. We had a goblin a little while ago. She had a fanciful unicorn llama creature. It was quite bizarre.
She falls to her knees and has grabbed your hand and is begging now. Please take me to Terrace Lean. I will serve your household, House Zane.
Get up, dear. Get up. Someone will see.
I am a priestess of the Heart of Gold. I have spells. I could help you in your war against the shadows.
What of your love?
He would come with us. He's a warrior. He could help too. The only fights he sees around here are in the... Somebody's passing by. In the Hall of Proving. I don't know how many times he has to prove himself. The general won't march armies out. He's too afraid.
I won't... You do realize if we took the Thane's son with us, this could be considered an act of war. So, of course, we are under the Imperium, so...
I have never seen a group of people thumb their nose to both tradition and to the establishment here and got away with it. People are leaving gold gifts at your door. I have so much to learn, I realize, when I saw all of you, and more so after I saw them fight. The Thane could study under Cade or something. Or the Thane's son, is what she says. He's supposed to be Thane, but I don't think the Imperial law will let it. I've asked questions, and I always get shushed.
Perhaps the Imperium...
No one should be shushed, says Adam. Adam's comments are funny.
You know, the Imperium... They are fond of meritocracies. Perhaps it could be argued that the Thane's son could earn the right to rule here.
Because in Terrace Lean, people have freedom to pursue their own craft, and the best at their craft are rewarded in...
So if the Thane wants his son to rule, his best chance is to let him leave for a time.
They will not listen to me. The Gold Dame hates me because of my station. They will listen to you and your friends more than me. How is that the exemplar of the Heart of Gold?
Life is at times cruel and unjust. Take heart. I suspect things are going to be much less traditional soon.
You have my support if you can help us with this.
I will do what I can. We'll be around for some time still.
Okay, she like kind of takes your hand and puts it up to her cheek, and she kisses it.
Okay, that's enough of that. We'll talk.
She is.
Bring them. Right.
Is there anything I can help you with? She's wiping away tears of happiness or relief.
I'm looking for the general.
Oh, the general I saw was training with his men.
I don't wish to interrupt.
Oh,
Um,
again, he seems to be wearing his circlet today.
his circlet.
Come, I'll tell you about it on the way. She snaps her fingers at.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to fix her of this. She snaps her fingers at what looks like one of the human slaves and hands this basket to the human slave and tells the
You
human
human.
slave what to do. or maybe Zeta's jealous.
Zeta's like, no, that's fine.
And she's like, I'll tell you about it on the way there. On the night of his ordainment, I was still a babe in swaddling clothes. The general was allowed and permitted to go into the chamber where the Heart of Gold rests. He came out a different dragonborn, a different man altogether.
So I've heard.
Frightful of everything. The priests were terribly concerned, as they had already decided that this new paladin would become the next general of our armies.
The rumor has it something the Heart of Gold told him.
Yes, the Heart of Gold, while he slumbers, does awake occasionally. I've never seen him, but I've been told that, like an old sick person, rises from his bed once in a while, mutters something, and then goes back to sleep.
Interesting. And he's never told anyone.
I do not mean to speak poorly of my deity, but something is terribly wrong here.
She leans in and whispers, "You're not the first to state that."
I know the dragons sleep for a long time. I have always hoped to be blessed enough to go and talk to him in person. He's around here somewhere. But I do feel his connection. I feel his strength. I feel him guiding what I do. And the powers of the spells that I've been taught come from him, I'm assured of it. But I think he's sad. At least a part of him. The sadness comes and goes, and the things that we have makes him less so for a time, but they are fleeting. Always a new trinket, she says, and she kind of points to her weird face, like, gear. Always a new square to add.
These things only hide that which is missing. Not that a pretty bauble isn't a fun thing at times.
You should wear earrings, she says. They would fit you.
I usually do, however, when I'm traveling, I worry about getting them caught on swords and spears and whatnot.
There are craftsmen that make magical ones that make it impossible for thieves to steal.
Oh, well, that's something to consider.
I'll take you to the market afterwards, she says.
Oh, fun!
She takes you, and you see that, so the circlet, for a while, the priests were fretted, and there were endless councils and meetings about it. Again, I was still young at the time, but I caught wind of the aftermath. They crafted him a circlet that made him not afraid.
And
But-
he chose not to wear it?
The knowledge that he bears, he said, was a burden and a gift given to him by the Heart of Gold. He is a paladin, and his god spoke to him. He said he couldn't remember the words very well when he puts the circlet on.
it's a kitty.
That is what he was told.
I'm not a high-ranking enough priestess yet to know such secrets. They are written down somewhere.
No doubt everything is written down, is it not?
Yes, we write everything down. Do the elves not write things down?
We write a great deal down, just not what we're going to eat tomorrow.
Oh, well, that must be nice. How do you decide?
Well, I wake up in the morning, think to myself, well, what do I have and what would I like to eat? I find which two correspond, and I have that.
Isn't that a giant waste of time?
No, it's me eating what I feel like eating when I feel like eating it.
Oh. That must be nice, she says.
Yes, I live a great deal of my life that way.
Is kitty. As you can tell, I like cats better than dogs. Excuse you.
He's a puppy, practically dead.
Nope, doesn't do anything for me. Stupid smelly dog. Why are you loud up on the couch?
Cat is actively rubbing its butthole in Mark's face.
Oh, funny.
Get that filthy dog off the couch.
I like them so much that I actually don't think my apartment's big enough to have cats, and my apartment's actually
Your apartment's
pretty
goddamn huge, you son of a bitch.
I still like. I'm of the opinion that cats need outside. Indoor cats,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, no, that I get.
I can understand
You
that.
and I would not let any living being go outside your apartment.
No, it'd be
Wasn't no adult, like
eaten
an
by,
adult male.
eaten by the crack-addled homeless or something, or run over by
Exactly.
cars.
Okay. So does she take
As our strong opinions waft through the through the stream, they come out every once in a while. Yeah. You see the general. He's training with his men. He seems to have a circlet on. He does not seem to be afraid. He seems to be a competent warrior. After training, like he has multiple combatants attack him at once, and he's able to defend himself. They were fighting only with sticks, though, today, like quarterstaves. Didn't look like they were fighting with blades. Although he seemed to hold his quarterstaff down at one end, like it was a two-handed blade. I'll wait over here, she says. Belle.
Thank you. No, she'll just stand. She doesn't want to interrupt his training, but she'll walk.
Oh, hello! Is what he says. He sees you right away, and you stick out like a sore thumb around these parts. He comes wandering up to you, wiping his scales with a towel.
Greetings, General.
He doesn't look frightened. He's actually smiling.
You seem to be in better spirits than usual.
Oh yes, training always is invigorating.
Yes, so I've heard from some of our warriors.
I appreciate the kindness that you showed me. It is a good sign. Do not take the words of the master of ceremonies at heart. He is a very harsh man when it comes to his routine.
I've been accused of harshness in the past myself, so I understand a person's initial reactions are not necessarily who they are.
Yes. You've shown great valor and great kindness. We should learn more about our neighbors from Terra's Lean. My apologies, the Protectorate of Many Lakes.
I suppose that is what the Imperium does call it now. I have a question for you, and one I have absolutely no right to ask. But I am I'm a curious sort. It's gotten me in quite a bit of trouble in the past, to be honest, but I'm just going to...
Yes, the rumor has it that you are quite a scholar.
Yes, I all right, I suppose, at trivia games and whatnot.
Trivia games. Interesting.
Games. What are those?
Do you have trivia games here? I love those.
I don't mean to be rude, but you're going to ask me what the dragon told me. What my god said into my ear when I was just recently ordained paladin.
How did you know that? She's genuinely confused.
Everyone wants to know that when they meet me.
But don't you think sharing the burden would ease the...
I don't think I can. Give me a diplomacy check.
We need a 50 mark. I know you don't have a plus 30, but get a 50 anyway.
Is that the DC that you'd set it at?
31. I always roll crap on my diplomacy for some reason.
I'm sorry,
Fortunately,
Zeta. These are things that I must bear myself. One day, perhaps, it will come to pass and everyone will know. And we will all have a reason to weep together.
But perhaps okay, it's clearly a widespread problem, and it's a terrible thing, so perhaps if you shared it, others could help find a way to prevent it.
It does not seem possible.
You would be quite amazed at what is possible. Your giant colossus, most would think, is impossible.
Well, the giant colossus was breathed to life by my deity, the Heart of Gold. It would not be possible without him. But the Heart of Gold is known to sleep for long periods of time, and, well, perhaps he told me something that was more sleepy and out of context. A metaphor, perhaps? I would not want to slander my god by presuming to understand the meaning of his words.
Well, perhaps he told you because he wants something done about it.
Yes. I mean, I don't know.
Think on it. We're here to be allies, after all.
Might I ask you an equally awkward and perhaps rude question?
Well, is this where we do the formal exchange of apologies beforehand?
Oh, yes. And he kind of gets into a position right in front of you, square to you. I formally apologize for any misgivings that I give unto thee for the differences in our cultures and races.
I accept your apology and formally apologize for any misunderstandings or gestures that
Flirting
you
is off the
find
charts,
rude.
Now then, apology accepted. What deity do you worship?
Why, Coralon?
Ah. Did you know that, well, hundreds of years ago, before the coming of the Imperium, that this happy dwarven kingdom, overlooked by the patronage of dragons, obviously, worshipped other gods? Old gods.
Moradin?
Ah, yes. You've heard of him.
I have, yes.
With the destruction of several dwarven realms, the worship of Moradin waned as our dark brethren to the south achieved more power. We found solace and faith in not Moradin, not Bahamut, but in the great Heart of Gold.
I actually have a former traveling companion who worships another unnamed deity, so he claims.
Yes, you do understand then.
You worship something called the source behind the light.
Yes, I think I've heard of them too. And this shadow war started by...
Her, yes. We
Yes.
will not speak her name.
Well, it did not take us long to understand that the five-faced god is also counted amongst them. The nameless deities. The deities that are pushing aside the old gods. You would do well to convert.
Well, I thank you for your concern.
My concern is directly related to what my deity told me. Save your soul, Zeta.
I know of the boxes.
Nope. Mm-mm. Save your soul.
What is it, man? Damn it!
Find one who is nameless. Find one, Zeta. Find one that speaks to your heart. They're out there. They're within you. They're in the places where you would expect the least. But they're there. Find one. And soon. I know. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? To
Wouldn't-
abandon tradition, to abandon a deity.
And it's an excellent point. Yes. How did a society so bound by tradition get converted from the worship of Morden to this new nameless god? Relatively new, of course.
Our god lives among us. In the early days, there were many demonstrations. Revelations. I'm not the only one that our deity has spoken to directly. I'm not the only one whom has been spoken to by a nameless god
I understand that.
directly.
My friend Arlen claims to have directly spoken.
Ah, I should very much like to meet this Arlen.
This is where we find out the two religions are mortal enemies, and he just... I'm sure he'd very much like to meet you as well.
Does he follow the Heart of Gold?
No, he follows the source behind the light.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know where that is. I believe his friend calls it the snake in the lake, but he's a terrible person, so really not worth mentioning. I'm sorry I brought him up. Imperial nobility can be quite irksome.
There are others. I don't know their names. Well, they are the nameless, but they have things that they are called. You should find one, Zeta.
Okay, I have no idea what knowledge, but the hell is he talking about? Because he's not talking about the boxes.
Nope.
Cataclysm.
You, without context, it's kind of... He's closed-lipped about something. His god told him something, and he's telling you something related, that you should abandon the worship of your old deity and find a new nameless one to worship.
General, if I told you to abandon your deity...
I
and
know.
gave you no...
It's ridiculous. But there will come a day where you will remember this conversation that we've had and the information that you sought as a scholar and a very curious young elven woman. I will not be there to say I told you so. You will not need me to be there to say I told you so. I'm doing this as I think you're kind. Even though there's a harsh edge to you.
Thank you. Well, I will give it consideration, General. If you change your mind and wish to find someone to share your burden, I shall be around for a time.
I feel much better already. Perhaps you could help spread that word.
I'll see what I can do.
I know. I sound Imperium, don't I?
Sadly, you do, my friend. I bid you good day, sir.
Perhaps
Big fucking roll.
perhaps they are not our enemy.
I never said they were my enemy. Just irksome.
He smiles politely.
Ride, Lyra, die, baby.
All right, Bill, you said you'd take me shopping.
You go shopping with Belle, and you
That was a bus.
you get to know Belle a little bit. She is a nice woman, and she is madly in love with the firstborn, and knows where to bring you to jewelry shops where you could spend all of your wealth if you wanted to. On
She'll
jewelry.
spend a couple. Let's see. I don't even know if she's got any money right now. Because I think it's all in like one bag.
Distribute a little bit, but like we just got a fat.
Okay,
bill.
if you don't have any money on you, she's like, oh, they didn't send you here with any coinage?
We have a sort of a group fund. It's actually quite expensive.
Nonsense. These will do. And she buys you a golden friendship bracelet.
Besties! She wears it. Thank you.
All right.
Very generous.
She shows you that you could buy little charms to kind of put on the friendship bracelet as the friendship progresses.
Okay. Her first one from Zeta's gonna be, it's a golden orb because I woke up your god.
Funny.
I rang the alarm clock.
Is there anything else you guys want to chit chat with, or anyone else you want to talk to
No.
while you're here? Okay, so Zeta's done.
Murgovane, I think, wants to talk to the stone, provided he can find a quiet place to cast for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you go to this kind of oppressive and really shiny place. They've covered things in marble. There are people at these tall desks that are looking down at people when they arrive. There's a line of 3 people at the vault of the miser's vault when Murgovane goes there. Is anyone else with Murgovane?
Zero will go with Murgovane.
Because Zero is checking out the statues.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Renee will go with Murgovane.
Renee kind of ghouls
just gonna
big
double
shadows
check.
Murgovane.
Yep.
I'm just going to double check something, because I just looked up Stone Tell, and it's saying it's a 6th level, like, shaman and like a 7th level druid. So it kind of seems like a high level spell for an oracle. Maybe,
It's 7th and 6th, but here, let's...
yeah, I'm checking the mystery, because it's a bonus mystery spell.
Yeah, and some of those come early.
Yeah, I'm just, like, it very well could
Which
be.
mystery are you?
Nature.
Nature? Alright, nature... you get Stone Tell at 12th.
Okay, yeah, so I got it.
So you cast it like a druid spell, effectively.
Yeah.
You gain the ability
well,
to speak to stones, which relate to you or who or what has touched them, as revealing what is covered or concealed behind or underneath them. The stones relate to complete descriptions if asked. A stone perspective, perceptible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you see that there are some effectively, like, judgy-looking tellers in these massive booths. Off to the side, you do see that there are some small counting rooms, and then past the booths, you do see that there is a ramp of like a hallway that leads downwards.
Renee's kind of just got his faceplate down,
Yep.
scoping.
he's looking around like for a quiet corner or something.
Next.
You're being waved forward.
Okay, he comes forward.
Do you speak Dwarven? Oh, you got the little orb above your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your business?
This place, it works like a bank, yes. You make a deposit and make a loan.
You can make withdrawals, deposits. You could apply for a loan. You could pay off an existing loan. You could speak to one of the misers if you wish. Although I would suggest the misers are in a bad mood today. There was some sort of drinking event yesterday. They drank. It was not on the schedule.
Do you have places to store valuables?
Yes. Would you like to rent a small, medium, or large deposit box in the vault of the miser?
I would like to rent a small one.
For how long?
1 month.
Very well. 30 days. From today.
Yes, please.
Would you like to place any sort of insurance policy upon such small box?
Is your vault not safe?
It is. But in the case of the acts of the gods or other calamities, such insurance policy will not apply.
He's thinking to himself, the gods do all sorts of things, so no, I don't want your insurance.
Very well.
They ask for, I don't know, 50 gold pieces.
He gives them 50 gold pieces from some of the earnings he got there.
Okay, it's annoying because they take the time to weigh out each individual gold piece.
Oh, that's fine. If they're all from you.
Eventually, you're given a small box that has 2 keys in it, and there's a number. It is 6 digits long, and you're pointed down the ramp.
Okay, he goes down the ramp.
Okay, there is
acting as a guard.
There is a circular revolving iron wall. Maybe it's not iron, it's more like adamantine. It's like a circular kind of chamber that revolves around and reveals a doorway.
Oh, okay.
There's an opposite doorway along the other side so that when it's closed, there's no access to either side.
You have to stand in it when it rotates? Or does
Yeah,
it-
you are being ushered in by someone that is there.
You go in and then they rotate the door and then you go out.
Yep.
Like an airlock.
Yep.
May I have your box number?
No, he looks at the box. And...
Yep.
Oh, very well. I shall step into this room. You shall have 10 minutes of privacy. From the point that the room shuts, you can place your components inside the box. Have you read your terms and conditions as to which items are not permitted to be placed inside the vault of the miser?
No, may I be given some more time this first time so that I may read the terms?
Yes. The copper-beaded scrolls shall be wheeled in.
So he comes in with this really heavy laden thing. Holy fuck! There's a bunch of stacks of copper plating. You've been to the library, so you know what their
Yeah.
books are made of, and
Yeah.
this really old dwarf kind of pushes it in. The terms and conditions.
I'm sure you are quite busy. I can read it myself.
The two of them leave.
Thank you.
You could call out when you're ready.
Thank you.
He looks behind you.
It does not appear to be a line. You have some time to read.